This is the first Tuesday of the month Waupaca City Council meeting.
Okay, welcome everybody to our public hearing that we have tonight. This is to do with special assessments for public improvements within the city. Today is Wednesday, April 6, 2016, and it is 5:50 p.m. I call this special meeting to order, and we'll ask Sandy to take roll for us.
Brian Smith.
Here.
Steve Hackett.
Here.
Lori Chestnut.
Here.
Paul Hagan.
Here.
Alan Keeland.
Here.
Scott Perchatsky.
Here.
Dave Peterson.
Here.
Paul Mayo.
Here.
Chuck Whitman.
Here.
Jillian Peterson.
Here.
And Eric Olson.
Here.
10 present. We have a quorum.
Thanks, Sandy. And Sandy, would you summarize the reason for this public hearing?
I will. Notice of public hearing on special assessments for public improvements in the city of Waupaca, Wisconsin. Please take notice that the governing body of the city of Waupaca, Wisconsin has declared its intention to exercise its police power in accordance with Wisconsin State Statute 66.0703 to levy special assessments upon the following properties for benefits conferred upon the property by the improvement of installing replacement sidewalks thereon. There's a list with addresses and parcel numbers and estimated property owner amounts. I'm not going to read them, they're rather lengthy. A report showing the final plans and specifications, estimated cost of improvements, and proposed assessments is on file in the municipal clerk's office and may be inspected there during any business day between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. You are further notified that the governing body of the city of Waupaca, Wisconsin will hear all interested persons or their agents or attorneys concerning matters contained in the preliminary resolution authorizing the assessments and in the above described report at 5:50 p.m. on Wednesday, April 6, 2016 at City Hall, 111 South Main Street in the council chambers. All objections will be considered at this hearing, and thereafter the amount of the assessments will be finally determined. This was signed by Henry Veliker, City Administrator Clerk, and published March 17th, 2016.
All right, thank you, Sandy. And in your packet, you can see the list. It looks like we're hitting down by the hospital there on 8th Street and Lake Street, and even some on Royalton Street for sidewalk improvements. At this time, we would take testimony in favor of the special assessments for these sidewalks. If you would like to give testimony in favor, please step up to the podium and give your name and address for the record. Limit your time at the podium to 3 minutes or less. Anybody that'd like to make a discussion on favor of this this item? Seeing none, hearing none, we would take testimony in opposition. Is there anybody that would like to give testimony in opposition of the special assessments for these properties? Again, seeing none, I would declare this meeting closed at 5:55 p.m. We will start the regular meeting, the regular city council meeting, right at 6 o'clock. I was just resting.
I know you are. It's like 6 o'clock.
91.
Okay, welcome everybody to our regular scheduled city council meeting. I do call this meeting to order. It is April 6, 2016, and it is 6 p.m. As always, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and if we could ask Sandy to read the clerk's open meeting statement for us.
This meeting and all other meetings of the Common Council are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the press in accordance with Wisconsin state statutes, so the citizens may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting.
Thank you, Sandy. And would you also take roll for us?
Brian Smith.
Here.
Steve Hackett.
Here.
Lori Chestnut.
Here.
Paul Hagan.
Here.
Alan Keeland.
Here.
Scott Perchatsky.
Here.
Dave Peterson.
Here.
Paul Mayo.
Here.
Chuck Whitman.
Here.
Jillian Peterson.
Here.
And Eric Olson.
Here.
10 present. We have a quorum.
Okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. These are items that we will take with one vote. Unless you would like to see any of these items that are on the consent agenda move to the regular agenda where we would vote on those items individually. Council or staff, are we okay with the way it sits right now? If we are, then let's, we need a motion to approve.
So move.
Second. Motion by Hagan, or Hackett, second by Hagan, that we approve the consent agenda as printed. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Next, we have regular agenda. I think there was just one handout, and that was for the closed session, right? Is that? Okay. So, again, unless there's anything on here that you would like to see moved around, the agenda is this is exactly what we're going to be working on tonight, so we'd need a motion to approve that.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Chestnut, second by Dave Peterson, that we approve the regular agenda as printed. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Under announcements and correspondence, we have a certificate to Officer or Sergeant John Helgeson for his 20 years of service to the city. He must be working very hard tonight, and so I gave that certificate to Mario, and he's going to make sure that he gets it, and make sure that he understands our gratitude for all of his hard work. And then next we have recognition for Randy Borkart for his 30 years on the street department. Didn't make it. Justin, you must have overworked him today, so we have an envelope here for him, if you would take that. I'm not even sure what's in there. What's in here? Okay, that's a gift certificate for him. And again, Justin, if you would thank him for his many years of work for us. Next, then, we have the Humane Society of Waupaca. Its annual report presentation. I don't see Monica here, so do we have somebody else that, all right, we'll, I guess we'll put it off till the next meeting then. Okay, and then we have a proclamation, which I asked President Paul Mayo read for the Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week 2016. Paul?
Thanks, Mayor. Whereas tornadoes create emergencies of great concern to the state of Wisconsin, with imminent threat to life and property and significant impact upon all those who are affected, and whereas severe thunderstorm phenomena such as powerful wind gusts, large hail, flood-producing heavy rains, and lightning pose a threat to the lives, safety, and property of the citizens of Wisconsin, and whereas Wisconsin averages 23 tornadoes annually with 17 tornadoes in 2015, and whereas tornadoes, severe storms, flooding, strong winds have caused hundreds of millions of dollars of damage to homes, businesses, and local government infrastructure in Wisconsin, and whereas the citizens of the state of Wisconsin will participate in 2 tornado drills, one at 1:45 and the first ever evening tornado drill at 6:55 p.m. on Thursday, April 14th, and whereas the citizens of the state of Wisconsin can be seriously affected by tornadoes and severe weather, and it is essential that we increase awareness of the dangers of severe weather hazards and the protective actions which can be taken by citizens thereby. Now therefore, I, Brian Smith, Mayor of the City of Waupaca, Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim April 11th through 15th, 2016 to be Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin. dated April 6th, 2016.
Thank you, Paul, and again, we just read that for the record. Appreciate that. Okay, next we have a thank you note from the Community Art Board for the city's room tax contributions that were made to them for the Arts on the Square, and that is just informational. And then we have meet the candidate, Ms. Sherry Wieters, is that right? Wieters is running for the Waupaca County Treasurer. Sherry, if you want to just step up to the podium.
Hi, I'm Sherry Wieters, and I am going to be running for Waupaca County Treasurer. I was born and raised in Waupaca County, and I have been married for 34 years to my husband Mike, and I have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. I started my career 27 years ago in banking. I stayed with the bank over in Waupaca for 5 years, and then I left the bank to go back to school to pursue my degree in accounting, which I obtained from Fox Valley Technical College. After that, I've been employed for Waupaca County for 20 years. I spent 6.5 of those years as Chief Deputy Treasurer to both Jim Gager and Clyde Tellock. And I've spent the last 7 years as the Assistant Finance Director. I believe I have the qualifications to be a good county treasurer. I have the experience and the background. I currently perform many behind-the-scenes functions for the treasurer's office. I currently create the monthly report that the current treasurer reads to his board every month. And 8 months ago, Clyde appointed a new deputy treasurer, and I've been training her. I just thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and speak to you, and I would love to serve you as the Waupaca County Treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you. All right, moving on, we have our spot where we have public input. If there's anybody in the audience or council members or staff that would like to speak to us on a non-agenda item, please step up to the podium, give your name and address for the record, and again, limit your time to 3 minutes or less. Anybody that would like to give public comment?
I would, Mayor.
Justin, go ahead.
Yes, Justin Behrens, and 1827 Catherine Way, Waupaca, Wisconsin. I sent out a email, I believe it was yesterday, about what the County Highway Department's proposing a speed limit change on Royalton Street, which is technically County Highway K, from Tower Drive to just east of Schuler's Great Expectations. I'm in favor of this change. I talked to Police Chief Tim Goke. He's also in favor of it. As the crashes they see out there are pretty severe. There's not a lot, but when they do happen, they're pretty bad. And just the change, we feel the change is necessary with just the type of traffic there with Falks' trucking, the trucks that come in and out of the foundry, and there's a lot of access points there. So we feel this is just a step in the right direction, and as development moves eastward, we probably would continue that trend into the future. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share them with me now or later, it doesn't matter. But the Highway Committee will be voting on this on April 14th, and if that's passed there, then it will go to County Board on May 17th. So, thank you.
Justin, what's the change?
Oh, right now it's 45 miles per hour, and I believe it goes from 45 miles per hour just right where Tower Mobile is, whether you're coming in or out of town. So they would be reducing that speed there to 35 miles per hour out to Schuler's, just east of Schuler's. So from Tower to Schuler's, the speed would be reduced from 45 down to 35. So then east of that to the roundabout would still remain 45.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Justin, for that information. All right, if there isn't any other public input, we'll move on to new business. We have a resolution number 1362, and this is also you, Justin. Isn't it?
Yes, it's a sidewalk resolution.
Oh, okay.
Well, since it's under my name, maybe I can help with. This is a.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
this
just
is
saw
his
his
first.
name on
Yeah,
it.
might have caught you blindsided a little bit there, Justin. This is our annual sidewalk maintenance program. Every spring we bring this forward. We annually inspect the sidewalks and identify repair and replacement. Based on our ordinances, we charge back 50% of the cost to the property owner. You had a public hearing just before this meeting, and I don't believe we've bid the work yet. We have an estimate, and once the bids come in, then we'll refine the cost to the taxpayer once the work is all done.
Okay. So, and we had the public hearing beforehand, and we did not have anybody that spoke in favor or against it. So at this time, then, we would be looking for a motion to approve this resolution so we can get going on this.
I make a motion to approve resolution 1362.
Motion by Hagan,
Second.
second by Hackett, that we approve the resolution number 1362. It's a preliminary resolution declaring intent to levy special assessments under municipal police power pursuant to section 66.0703 of the Wisconsin statutes. Any discussion? Sandy will call the roll.
Dave Peterson,
Aye.
Chuck Whitman,
Aye.
Steve Hackett,
Aye.
Paul Mayo,
Aye.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Alan Keeland,
Aye.
Jillian Peterson, Eric Olson, Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
and Paul Hagan.
Aye.
10 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, next one's you now, though, Justin. Lift station corrosion control wastewater collection system.
Thanks, Mayor. On page 96 through 100 of the packet is my memo, along with some other documents included. This project, this lift station corrosion control, is something that the treatment plant staff and I have been looking into quite a bit. Basically, a quick background is we have a number of lift stations around the city. The low points take the sewage, lift them up so we can continue to feed the sewage to the treatment plant. A number of these systems, or several of the lift stations we have in our city, are steel, and they're underground, and they can be subject to corrosion and over time wear out and fail. And these lift stations are usually installed with a protection system, but over time that protection system just kind of wears out. And there was a study done in 2010 that showed that this protection system is basically non-existent in our lift stations anymore. So we'd like to move forward with another study. It'd basically be a more in-depth further study to see if we should be doing something now to re-protect our lift stations. And there's a lot of things that go into this with the soil conditions, the groundwater level, and basically just how much steel is actually there remaining. So with this, we need to hire a professional. So we put out an RFP looking for these professional services. So with that, we received 4 proposals back, and the lowest bid was to the lowest proposal was from Earth Engineering Services of $7,200. This company was very well received across the state. Talked to a number of public works individuals, and what we are expecting to gain from this work or this survey would be they would tell us if we need to take action now to re-protect our lift stations. And based on what we've done with our research, to renew these corrosion control protection systems can cost upwards of $12,000 to $15,000 per lift station. So instead of just going ahead and renewing it, we want to figure out if it's necessary. Just because it depends on the soil type and the groundwater depth and obviously the age. So with that, I'm requesting to award this lift station corrosion control study, inspection, and reporting services to Earth Engineering Services for amount not to exceed $7,200.
Okay. Everybody heard Justin's explanation. The dollar amount, of course, is $7,200, and this, of course, will come out of the sewer fund, correct? Yeah. Okay. So if you are in agreement with this, then we would entertain a motion to approve this agreement.
I move to approve that project.
Motion by Keelan,
Second.
second by Chestnut, that we approve entering into an agreement with Earth Engineering Services Incorporated to do a lift station control study, corrosion control study. Any discussion? For an amount not to exceed $7,200, sorry. Any discussion? Sandy, will call the roll?
Paul Hagan. Eric Olson. Jillian Peterson. Alan Keeland.
Aye.
Paul Mayo.
Aye.
Dave Peterson.
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky.
Aye.
Lori Chestnut.
Aye.
Steve Hackett.
Aye.
And Chuck Whitman.
Aye.
10 ayes, motion carried.
Thanks, Justin. Next, you have license report number 1311. There's one individual on there. Of course, these are all pending background checks and payments of any fines that they might owe to the city.
Mayor, the packet, the information starts on page 103. Actually, I'm seeking your approval to deny. I'm asking that you deny this license request, I guess is the proper terminology. There is a memo from me as well as the protocol and the decision tree, if you will, for issuing the bartender's licenses, and then some of the history. There's a very recent case, and I believe this individual might have had another incident since this memo was actually created. Another potential, I mean, he's being alleged to have another drug offense. So I would be seeking denial per our procedures. Starts on page 103.
Okay. Henry, was that individual notified that you were going to?
Yes.
I mean, I see the letter, but.
Yes.
And you
that
offered
he could
to.
have him appear.
And he's not
no,
here tonight?
No.
Right. So hearing that and seeing the information that's in there, our city administrator, or clerk, in this case he is acting as, is asking that we deny the operator's license to this individual.
I move that we deny license report number 1311.
I'll second that.
We got a motion by Keelan, second by Chestnut, that we deny license report number 1311, which is operator's license for Rudy David Weber. Any discussion? Sandy will call the roll.
Alan Keeland.
Aye.
Eric Olson. Paul Hagan.
Aye.
Jillian Peterson. Scott Perchatsky.
Aye.
Paul Mayo.
Aye.
Chuck Whitman.
Aye.
Dave Peterson.
Aye.
Lori Chestnut.
Aye.
And Steve Hackett.
Aye.
10 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, next we have resolution number 1364. This is a resolution for borrowing up to $35,000. Kathy?
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet on page 114 is my memo asking for approval of a resolution to authorize us to borrow $35,000 from State Trust Fund Loan to finance the purchase of a police patrol vehicle and equipment that was included in the 2016 budget. I did look at several of the banks to finance this, and local banks, and also a couple equipment leasing companies, all of which would not finance public safety vehicles because of the fact that they could be damaged. So the state trust fund loan rate is also much cheaper than any type of private lending that we could get, and it's 2.5% for a 1-year loan, which amounts to $875 worth of interest, and we would budget it within the 2017 debt service budget.
Okay, so we're going to borrow the money, purchase the vehicle now, and we'll have it paid off in 2017.
Correct. That's the only way that we can purchase this type of equipment under the levy limit law.
Okay. Again, I know it's been a while since we had the budget process, but this is unchanged from the discussion at the budget level.
I move to approve Resolution 1364.
Motion by Mayo, second by Olson, that we approve of this resolution number 1364. It's a resolution authorizing the borrowing of $35,000 from the Board of Commissions of Public Lands to purchase and equip a police squad car for the amount not to exceed $35,000, or the amount that we'll borrow is $35,000 again. Any discussion? Sandy will call it. Oh, anybody have any discussion? I'm sorry. I looked down quick here. If not, Sandy will call roll.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Jillian Peterson, Paul Mayo,
Aye.
Dave Peterson,
Aye.
Eric Olson, Steve Hackett,
Aye.
Chuck Whitman,
Aye.
Paul Hagan,
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
and Alan Keeland.
Aye.
10 ayes, motion carried.
All right, next you have the remaining amounts or numbers of operators licensed. This is license report number 1312. And these, I guess we're looking for an approval by the clerk's office. We need a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dave Peterson, second by Hackett, that we approve the license report number 1312, which is the operator's license. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Okay, next, actually, we have a closed session planned, so we'll be asking everyone to leave except for the council members and department heads that would like to stay. So again, at this time, under state statutes, we are requesting that we convene into closed session in accordance with 19.85 parent 1 parent G of the Wisconsin statutes as it pertains to conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy but be adopting the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Yeah, I know.
So moved.
Motion by Keelan, second by Hagan, that we go into closed session. Any discussion? If not, Sandy will call the roll.
Dave Peterson,
Aye.
Paul Mayo,
Aye.
Alan Keeland,
Aye.
Eric Olson, Paul Hagan,
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Jillian Peterson, Steve Hackett,
Aye.
and Chuck Whitman.
Aye.
10 ayes, motion carried.